Howard with you on that. All right, the Trump campaign seizing on the vice president's media silence. The former president teeing up a 2 p.m. Eastern news conference at Mar-a-Lago after his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, trolled Harris on a runway in Wisconsin.
I also wanted to go say hello to the vice president and ask her why Kamala Harris why does she refuse to answer questions from the media? And I also thought that the press gaggle following her might get a little lonely. I at least have enough respect for you all and for the American people you report to come and talk to you and to answer some questions. And so I thought her reporters might actually benefit from that as well.
Fox News contributor Charlie Hurt and former Clinton advisor Mark Penn join us to break it down. Gentlemen, welcome to you. Okay, let's start with this. Here is a quote from Harris insiders to Politico on why she's not going to be taking questions, saying there's little worry about the candidate avoiding something else that has long been required of presidential nominees, taking questions from the press. On the whole, Harris's top communications aides are deeply skeptical, as Biden's inner circle was, that doing big interviews with major TV networks or national newspapers offer much real upside when it comes to reaching swing voters. I mean, Mark, it seems like they're proceeding with the do no harm strategy because she is on this media honeymoon at this point. Will there ever be a point, though, at which mainstream media pushes her for more access, or do we just coast for 90 days? Mark?
Well, I mean, it certainly looks like the whole idea here is just to follow the Biden playbook. I mean, newsflash, she is not going to cooperate with interviews, and I think she's made that clear until there's so much pressure that she's either going to have to change the strategy. Right now, her strategy of avoiding the press is working. She's rising.
All right. I think Mark is frozen there. We'll get back to him when he thaws out. But in the meantime, Charlie, let's bring you in on this because we've got a Trump campaign source speaking to this presser that's coming at 2 p.m. today, saying essentially that there are a lot of members of the media down there meeting off the record with the former president. He says, while they're here, let's just do this presser thing because I'm transparent. And there's this stark contrast with the Harris campaign, which is not stepping up to do questions. You know, there's been reporting that the former president is frustrated. Is this an attempt to kind of change the narrative, which has been so positive for Harris and Waltz?
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And by the way, I think what Mark was saying is exactly right. It is working for Harris right now, but the only reason it's working for Harris right now is because the political press is allowing her to get away with it. And, you know, it does work right now during a sort of honeymoon period. I think it reflects very poorly on the press that they're letting her get away with it. But I do think, Shannon, that over time it starts to lose its efficacy and it starts to build up, and people can't help but look at this and see the absurdity of a situation where you have a candidate who is asking to be president of the United States and they can't even engage with the American people, which is what happens with it's supposed that, you know, that's why we have the fourth estate. That's why we have the press ask questions. When we're asking questions of a candidate, we're asking on behalf of the American people. And if you have somebody who thinks that she should be president of the United States without answering any of those questions, it's absolutely absurd. It's also very dangerous because that's not how a free republic works. And of course, you know, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance love this sort of situation. They love engaging with the press, even though the political press generally does not like them. That's to put it kindly. But the difference is it's a shocking difference, and I disagree with the Harris campaign. I think that independent voters, this does matter to independent voters, and in the end, if she gets pressured into doing some of these things, it'll be because independents are giving up on this issue, on her because of this issue.
As Carly Shimkus said earlier in the show, she was digging around to see if anybody else is reporting on this or asking questions about why there isn't Harris, you know, press access and that kind of thing. And basically it's us and maybe one other outlet out there that are even asking this question. I mean, Mark, we've seen the president sit down now for an interview with CBS, and it's odd for us to think the optics of that this man who was sort of the kind of hiding from the press, that he's actually out there giving an interview, and the woman now running for president isn't.
Well, it is incredible. I mean, look, Biden was hid from the press until the debate. Are we going to have debates? Are we going to know what Harris stands for or not? She's got no position papers anywhere. I've never seen anything like this. Look, they're going to ride at least through the convention Why not? Why get in front of your message? And we're going to see with Donald Trump and his presser. It's always Trump v. Trump. Will he prove why you shouldn't hold pressers, or will he prove why you should hold pressers? That will be in Trump's hands this afternoon. I think it's a great idea that they're pushing the issue. It's a completely valid issue.
Well, we'll see. Charlie, as you said, they seem to enjoy this on the other side of the ticket, the jousting and whatever else shows up in these press conferences. We'll be watching 2 o'clock Eastern. Charlie and Mark, thank you both very much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.